The executive system of government is too expensive if we must be honest to ourselves.
I'm in support of having a state police and even having local government police.
Those who want to invest had better come in now, because Nigeria is going to change and change for good.
We have given in to sentiments that are tribal or religious or political.
Whoever is honest in politics will begin to run into problems. In fact, you will not get elected.
I think you must be guided by certain principles.
Me, I like my country. I like the land and people. Everything is there for Nigeria. Make we join hands to make Nigeria better.
True Nigerians, heroes of our time. Let's go there. Hello Nigeria and hello Nigerians. It's that time again of True Nigerians, heroes of our time, a program where we bring to you Nigerians that are worth emulating, Nigerians that are role models, Nigerians that have done us well in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm sure you are all surprised that I'm carrying a sheet of paper today. Is because this is an unusual recording. My guest today on the program has several times been described as a sterling Nigerian Amazon, an outstandingly brilliant broadcaster who later transmitted to an outstandingly brilliant parliamentarian, a worthy, compassionate, fair, firm, respected and courageous leader, fondly called Mother Teresa of the Tube because of her compassion for the less privileged, and now Lady Diaspora for pioneering efforts in putting diaspora affairs on the front burner. My guest was born in Jos, Plateau State. She was a former member of the Nigerian Federal House of Representatives, representing Ikorodu constituency in Lagos State. She was also chairperson House Committee on Media and Policy when she was in the House. Her CV is this big, but just so that we'll continue, let me pause here and introduce you to my guest. As you can see, I'm all smiles because this is really an unusual recording. My guest on the program is Abike Dabiri Erewa. You know, for we who are from the north, it's like Arewa, but I know that Erewa means...
It's actually not Erewa. No, it's actually Erewa.
It's like Are, you know we Arewa.
No, Erewa is, my husband is Delta, he's from Koko. Okay. But we call it the Yoruba, which is Erewa. So Yoruba means beauty, but it's actually Erewa. He himself calls himself Erewa because he grew up in Ibadan, your state. So
okay, I want to get, I will do it again. Abike Dabiri Erewa.
You got it. Better than even me.
Okay, finally, ma.
How are you, Zaaki?
I'm fine.
I didn't know you were coming to ambush me.
Yes, I have to. In fact, you need to ask my cameraman, my crew. I told him that I am going to see Honorable Abike Dabiri today. If I call you, just pack your equipment and start coming. I'm going to ambush her. And he worked out.
You did.
Yeah.
Nice to see you and well done for a great program that you've sustained over the years.
Thank you. You know, I'm actually doing your job. These True Nigerians. You have been campaigning for Nigerians in diaspora. You know, you are all Nigerian. And True Nigerians is also about celebrating Nigerians both at home and in diaspora.
That's true.
That is why you have to promise on this program that you take me abroad for one of your trips.
No problem. Abroad can be anywhere. Abroad can be.
Well, I agree. Any abroad, just take me so that I'll follow you and meet Nigerians in diaspora and put them on camera.
In fact, you should. We should have more of them on your program.
Yeah.
We should be recommending some that you feature on your program.
Yeah.
And I also think we can partner with you in that regard, because one of the things we want to do is keep celebrating the best of us that are abroad. When people say, why abroad? Well, that is my own job schedule. And it's amazing what Nigerians are doing
abroad.
It's amazing. And what we are trying to do is ensure we bring that connection, that synergy, to have Nigerians at home work with Nigerians in the diaspora to build a country of our dreams. If other countries have done it, we have no more excuses.
I agree, because I can tell you the story as a musician now. I can tell you the story of how, when we started, Nigerian music was not being patronized.
That's true.
I mean, you get airplay, 90% Western and 10% Nigeria on all our airwaves. But what changed the Nigerian music scene was actually the migration of Nigerians in diaspora. They started coming in with their expertise. They started presenting Nigerian music. If you remember the story of the Mo hits, those were all diaspora people. The Banj, Don Jazzy, they all came from abroad. Tiwa Savage, they all came. Understand? Yeah. So that was what brought about the great change in Nigerian music. Yes. Nigerians now embrace Nigerian music. So you see the impact that this synergy that you have with Nigerians in diaspora, because they know a lot that we don't know here. That's so if they bring their expertise here, it means that
and also, most importantly, if they stayed there, they won't be the stars that they became.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. You're really a patriot. I can see you are in green. You're really a patriot. As if you know we're coming today. This was not prepared for. I just came and told her my cameras were around the corner. The cameras were not there, but I just had to say that so that she wouldn't leave the office. Okay, we have a traditional question. How would you define a true Nigerian?
Well, a true Nigerian is a Nigerian who believes in his or her country. A Nigerian who is ready to be selfless about your country. And it doesn't matter where you find yourself. For instance, if you're in a leadership position, you should put in your best for the good of your country. So a true Nigerian is you. And I believe I too.
Yes.
Who actually passionately and with all sorts of patriotism believe in our country. I mean, there's nowhere in the world that you will abuse my country and I take it lightly. A true Nigerian also is a true ambassador of the country. Wherever you are, be good ambassadors, because you are a true reflection of the country that you come from. So a true Nigerian will just be a good Nigerian.
Who does the right thing.
Who does the right things.
At all times.
And I keep saying one bad apple should not spoil the whole bunch. When you hear one bad story, I'll give you 10,000 good stories about Nigerians. But in the media, bad news travels fast. So
people are always more interested in bad news than good news.
But what we try to do, and that's why I'm saying that we should be able to work with you, is to make an intentional effort to promote the good in us. So we have to be intense about it. We have to actually just say, this is what we're going to pursue aggressively. So if you tell me one bad story, I'll give you 10,000 good stories.
Okay, I'm just I have my questions, but the awards, there are so many. You've done so well over the years.
This is not all, not even half of all.
This is not all.
Space that this will take. And I'm proud.
On this side.
No, there's even no space. I'm proud that these awards have been coming right from my days on television. So from being, I remember then when Nigerian Media Merit Award started, I was the award winner, and I was the best reporter. And I was also one of the best presenter. So right from my days on television to politics and to today, these are some.
now you understand why I'm nervous presenting this program.
Why?
Because I know that, you have won awards as a presenter. you've been a TV personality. So how do you want to know?
No, that
how do you want to now talk
you
to?
are multitasking. You're a musician and you're doing this. You know, I really respect you.
Thank you so
much. And I
much.
truly appreciate you. So you are multi-talented.
Thank you. Thank you so
and that's
much.
why I should be nervous.
No, okay. All right. Okay. When you were in the house, one of your, like I said earlier, one of your, you were the chairman House Committee on Media and Publicity. With what is going on now in Nigeria, you know, social media, there's social media bullying, there's the government trying to restrict people from the freedom of using social media, a lot of things. There's a lot of advantages of social media, and there is also disadvantages of social media. What's your take on?
There has to be freedom with responsibility. And when I was in the parliament, it was obvious that we'll come to this day. When I was in parliament, I think 2008-9 or something, I actually sponsored a bill called the Press Council Bill.
Okay.
And the essence of the bill was to say, if we do not self-regulate ourselves as media practitioners, we're bound to have a problem. But then, a lot of people in the media, the core, hardcore media, resisted it. And this is what we're saying, that as media practitioners, you must be insured, you must be guaranteed your salary. I mean, we're a situation where the media, some media owners were owing journalists years of salary arrears. So what moral right do you have to criticize a government who is owing salaries when you, the fourth essence of the realm, is also owing salaries? So we came up with this, what I thought was very robust, but the key thing was the media should self-regulate. For instance, imagine you're a media person, people like, and I remember those names we said there, Tony Momo, Shegun Oshobo, Saba Moka, John Momo, and quite a whole lot of others, you know, will be on a council where media practitioners will sit down and say, Zaak comes and says, this is what this media, this journalist wrote about me, and I want redress. So you didn't have to go to court. You could self-regulate. So this council looks at your case and says you're guilty or you're not guilty. And they can say apologize, withdraw something. And, oh well, they fought me to a standstill. I remember some newspapers decided that there must be an attack on me from every newspaper. And I remember the first was, Azu, my friend called Azu, was the first to write an article. The last was by late Dimba Igwe. And for every feature, I must be attacked because they didn't want it. But at the end of, look at today now, everybody is suffering. In the sense of the hardcore media, the hard media, the traditional media is also a victim. So I wish if we had had that council, today we'll be at a level where you can say, okay, you are a blogger, I know who you are, Mr. A has a case against you, just come and sit at the council and explain yourself. But unfortunately,
is that how it's done in other countries?
No, what I'm saying then.
Okay.
You don't have to copy people. What we're saying then, we can self-regulate. Because we had very respectful media practitioners. So we're saying that let the media regulate itself. Let the media sit over, let people be able to come to a place and say, you know what, you did something wrong to me and I want redress. But it didn't work. But see where we are today. So in terms of social media, yes, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly. But there has to be...
Sorry, before we go to... Is it too late to have that regulatory
Look, I'm not
body?
in parliament and it's not my line of work now.
Okay.
But I did what I... Don't forget, I sponsored the Freedom of Information Bill. It started with Jerry Bukwe, Honorable Uze Chididuru, you know, but by the time I got to parliament, they were not there, so I picked up the bill and started again, and I ensured that I saw it through. And it was tough. It was tough. It was like, you want to expose government, you want to do ABC, you want to put everybody into trouble. But I stood by it. So I supported the Freedom of Information Bill, which is a law today, and I also felt that we have to practice journalism with some measure of responsibility. I got support from the electronic media because they understood what I was saying. So while I was being battered in the print media, I was on radio and television explaining what I was trying to do, and there was tremendous support. But it couldn't pass through, and some years later, the NUG as a group now came to Parliament to say we need this bill. But I'm not interested. It's not my field anymore. But I'm just saying, if that had happened then, we would have had a threshold where we would have started from. So you see, now to now expand to social media and say, Mr. A, you wrote something against Mrs. B, and she has a complaint. Then Mrs. B goes to the panel, makes your complaint, they look at it, and then you can solve it. So that is what we call self-regulation. But why people didn't want it was more, why the owners didn't want it was more because why would you tell us we must pay salaries? Why must you tell us that every journalist must be insured? But my answer was, why not? So here we are today. So
what kind of insurance were you looking at? Was it like...
No, journalists get killed on the job. How many journalists have been killed? What happened? Even if say you lock up a journalist, if you're insured, insurance is key. You see, and then when you say you have a profession, there are some criteria for calling a profession a profession. So you have it in law, you have it in medicine. For instance, there's a council you go to report a medical doctor who does something wrong to you, not necessarily going to court. The same thing with the legal profession, insurance profession. So you needed that in the media profession, but we don't have it. So can you even truly call journalism a profession the way it is now? But again, like I said, it's not something I want to dwell too much on. It's something I try to do, but I sit with those who opposed me then, today, and they say, well, we wish that we had supported you. So that's it as of today. But what about freedom? There has to be some measure of responsibility. Period.
So that's responsibility. That responsibility would be coming from both sides.
Both sides, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
As a government, you must be open, you must be transparent, you must be sincere, you must be truthful. And as the conveyor of information, it's important to carry true information. Instead of false information that could be very damaging.
If you want to do comedy, we know it's comedy.
Exactly.
But don't carry false information. I agree with you. Okay, I see a lot of things still on social media. I don't know, but I see a lot of infringement of rights. I see a lot of abuses abuses of Nigerians in diaspora living in other countries. I've seen a video where some Chinese people were flogging some Nigerian on the floor.
Don't believe every video you see, though.
Huh? I don't believe every video I see, but I'm just trying to. Is there some form of security for the Nigerian in diaspora? I mean, in those days when you say you are a Nigerian, it's like a taboo. But these days everything has changed. Everybody wants to be a Nigerian now. But we still have cases where Nigerians are treated like slaves in other countries. Yeah. Is there something you are doing to protect Nigerians?
What we try to do, we've been doing a whole lot of that, and most importantly is that we'll do everything to ensure that you don't commit you don't suffer for a crime you did not commit. So there have been many interventions that Nigerians in Diaspora Commission we've been able to do in our over 1 year of existence. Of course, working with our missions abroad and our parent ministry, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So once it comes to our table, we get on it, and we receive several petitions per day involving some we can solve, some we can't. That's the reality. But a whole lot of them that we can solve, we work at it diligently. So, and then we don't generalize. So we take each case as it comes.